Hi, I'm Amy, this is the Opinionated Woman, and today we're going to talk again about some gay shit. This is a video that was actually not recommended, requested by someone on Instagram, thank you Aurelia, about coming out at such an old age, coming out at an older age than what is your average, maybe. Let's put it that way. So like the things that have changed since I've come out, the things that I've put up with up until this point. I thought this was very interesting, and I do have some things to say about it. So yeah, let's get right into it. Number one was something that I did not expect, but I've definitely heard a lot of people talk about now, and that is second puberty. My God. Until I came out, I didn't realize how much I was completely relying on gender norms. So, as in like, oh, the guy has to ask me out. The guy has to kiss me first. The guy is gonna, buy me flowers or whatever it was. I was too shy and too scared of rejection because I had no self-esteem. I basically did not grow a self-esteem until I went to the psych hospital. And I came out with a brand spanking new self-esteem. So when I came out, I realized, well, first of all, the whole guy does everything for me, even though it was invalid in the first place, is literally gone. This means that I would have to grow up. I would have to learn how to flirt with girls. I got a completely new respect for how hard it must have been being a little straight teenage boy back at school. Because my God, girls are so, and non-binary people, I also will date non-binary people, they're so intimidating. I think I didn't find guys as intimidating before because I wasn't, like now I know I wasn't attracted to them in that way. But women, oh my God, they're so beautiful and they smell so nice and they're so soft. And and the thing with queer people in general, like queer women and non-binary people, is they're also very open, or at least the people that I'm attracted to, they're very open, educated about all of these kind of things. So yeah, it was really an intimidating thing for me to realize I'm going to have to flirt with girls. I'm going to have to make the first move. Like, there's always that stereotype of two lesbians matching on TikTok, and I mean on TikTok. I'd say that because I had a slide into the DM situation. Two girls will match on Tinder, no one will message first. And I told my psychiatrist this, and he was like, then how do you guys meet? I was like, John, you know what? I'd like to know that too. Yeah, because literally how does that happen? I mean, on Bumble, right? The woman will message first. So when it's with two women, either of you can message first. And I would find that I would match and I'd be like, no, I'll wait for them. And if I waited for them, guaranteed I would never get a damn message. Never. So I decided from the very beginning, because of going on to TikTok and things like that, I did not want to fall into the stereotypes. I wanted to be making the first move. I wanted to be messaging the person first. I would go, like, I don't use dating apps now because it really didn't work for me, but it's easier to sort of explain how I went about dating when it comes to dating apps. I will go into dating apps in more detail later, but yeah, messaging first and actually going onto that person's profile and finding something to ask them about that wasn't just telling them that they were physically attractive. That was something that I definitely made a concerted effort to do, but it scared the shit out of me. But what was really great about this is that I got to do some things for the first time that I wouldn't have expected to be able to do before. So I knew that this girl that I was seeing was having a bad time of it. So I sent her flowers to her work, and it made her so happy, and that made me feel so good and warm and fuzzy inside because I'd made someone else happy by just doing this like spontaneous thing. And that made me feel really good. It made me feel really good. So now I'm just sort of having fun with pushing the boundaries and realizing that there aren't any boundaries, that I can actually do whatever I want, obviously within someone else's boundaries. That's obviously, that's another thing that's come out of this. Respecting boundaries, knowing where my boundaries are, knowing where someone else's boundaries are, and having a very frank discussion about it. I don't think that's obviously exclusive to the queer experience, but for me, all of these things happened at the same time. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Then when it comes to past relationships, now looking back, I mean, hindsight's 2020, right? And looking back, I know that the relationships that I went for, like my serious relationships as an adult, if I line up those guys in a little row in my brain, I can see the types of guys that I was going for, and they did fit a specific type. And the thing that I was seeking most desperately was male validation. So I would find the type of guy that I needed to find that validation from and latch myself onto this person. And I was very much attracted to, for lack of a better word, fixer-uppers, like people that I thought I could go in and fix. Now I realize that I should never want to change someone. Someone is not there for me to fix. And if there are things about that person that doesn't work with me, then maybe we don't work together, you know? I'm not there to change somebody. I'm not there to make them a better person. If they're not a better person, they're not going to be with me, you know? That's how it's going to be now, at least. So there was definitely something that I picked up on. Another thing along the same sort of lines is that I subconsciously had the thought that the purpose of my relationships was for me to maintain the man. So to be worth something, to be worth having that relationship, for me to be found valuable, I needed to maintain this man and do things that would make him happy, even if it wouldn't make me happy. If I wasn't maintaining that relationship, I mean, to me, it should be obviously a two-way street. Like, we both maintain each other. We're not crutches for each other, but we're supports for each other, because there's a difference between a crutch and a support. But I was very much like, my stuff is not as important. His stuff is all the important thing, and I must maintain this, otherwise something is going to go wrong. And that is to do a lot with the trauma that I experienced as a child. There's a lot to do with the things that I talk about in therapy all the time. It is just one of those things that I didn't even realize until I got out of a heteronormative situation and realized that that's what I'd been doing the whole time. I'd experienced love as manipulation rather than love in its purest form. I had love with a caveat. I had a lot of dishonesty in my old relationships, and that's not something that I'm willing to put up with anymore. Which is a great thing to realize. I'm not saying that women can't be dishonest, or non-binary people cannot be dishonest in relationships, but because my mental health awakening and my sexual awakening happened at the same time, like as I said before, these things are intrinsically tied together, which is quite fascinating for me. So when it comes to my past behaviors, that was also an interesting one for me to go into, because I never really felt in place in a lot of situations, and I felt very alone in a lot of situations, even when surrounded by a group of people. And I cannot tell you how refreshing it was for me to go to my first ever queer party. I went to a party at this bar called the Raptor Room in town. Like, I highly recommend it. It's got a big rainbow like sidewalk outside. It's very queer, run by a queer owner who sings like an angel. Delicious food, there's drag nights, all of that kind of thing. So they were having a charity event, and I went with my then girlfriend to that charity event, and being surrounded by so many queer people in a space that was so much about self-expression. Like, you could tell people there, which is a point I will get onto later, they were just expressing themselves and the things that they loved without really a fear of judgment, which I found so refreshing. I've never felt more in place than I did at that queer party. Just surrounded by a bunch of other like-minded people, it was like breathing air for the first time in my life. Um, then there's a self-expression side. So with my past behaviors, it was very much dictated by either the partner that I was with or what I thought that a prospective partner would find attractive. So I used to cut my hair off all the time, like cut it really short. I remember when I was 8, I went into the hairdresser with a picture of Pink from her first album, and I was like, I want my hair like this. And people were flabbergasted, and like they were so shocked by the fact that I was so chill with just cutting all my hair off. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, hair grows back. But it was sort of me moving out of the very strict stereotypical girls have long hair kind of thing, and me rebelling against the things that were expected of me, which then later on in life obviously became this. Because I had partners who would not let me cut my hair, or okay, they wouldn't say it in that many words, but I would mention like, oh, maybe one day I want to shave my head, and they would very strongly imply that that would not be a decision that would be supported by them. Which is a horrible position to put me in, because it's like that's what I want to do. That's what I think is going to make me happy. And restricting myself, just being like, oh, okay, cool. Like, my partner doesn't want it, therefore I'm not getting it. Which is why as soon as I had a relationship with a woman, I was like, I want to shave my head. And she was like, do it. So I was like, sick, I will. And it was so refreshing. Another thing that's really refreshing is the fact that I can wear dresses now. In the past, I never wore dresses because I was very much of like a tomboy kind of, I'm not like other girls, you know. It was cringy, but it was the fact, and it was a fact, unfortunately, that I really did put myself into that category. And I wouldn't wear dresses, and even when it got to the point where I did want to wear dresses, I was scared to wear dresses. Not because of what a guy would say, because guys are not really commenting, like the guys that I was hanging out with were not really commenting on, you know, what specific items of clothing I was wearing. But because of the attention from women, because I would put on a dress and go out and my friends would be like, oh my God, Amy's wearing a dress, wow. And then people would always comment because it was so different for me. And their comments were perfectly lovely. Like, there was nothing negative about the things that they were saying, but I, so to my core, did not want that attention that I really didn't know how to handle those compliments in the slightest. And it's a very strange thing for me to look back on, because now I have a cupboard full of dresses, and when I get the opportunity to wear dresses, you better know what I'm wearing them, because I look cute as tits in them. And when I had long hair, I thought I looked cute, and now it's like having a whole new wardrobe because I've got short hair that's ginger. I mean, my hair is like the same color as my eyebrows. Okay, my eyebrows are filled in right now, but but around about the same color as my eyebrows. So it's like a completely different look, and I'm having so much fun with playing with that. So I sort of touched on this before with my past behaviors, but when it comes to now, I feel like I am dressing with such freedom. Like, as I said, I would definitely dress or present myself in a way that my partner would find like most specifically attractive. Whereas now, I sort of just go to my wardrobe and be like, so what am I feeling today? Am I feeling something masked today? Am I going to unbutton my shirts like some dude bro, you know, and wear gold jewelry? Do I feel like being super femme today? Like, how do I feel like presenting myself? Do I feel like mixing the two together? And I'm totally dressing 100% only for Amy. And she's the most important bitch around, you know? And I feel like I did the same thing with makeup. I mean, I started playing with makeup when I used to watch a lot of beauty gurus on YouTube. They used to definitely be a good escapism thing for me. I don't follow very many anymore because, as a lot of us know, that the industry can be very toxic. But I do like playing with makeup. I like playing with things on my face, you know? So I would do these makeup looks at home by myself, like blending baby pink and pale blue, uniting it with like a a very soft pink shimmer in the center of the lid and stuff like that. And I would wear that at home, but I would never wear that out. I would never wear a lipstick of this color because I knew that my partner would not like to kiss me because they might get lipstick on them, God forbid. So I would put on stuff like this, but never be able to go out wearing something like this. Where now I'll rock it. I mean, can anyone see my lipstick under my mask right now? No. But I feel so damn confident. And I think that is the main word in my notes I have written. The biggest word is confidence with underlinings, because that is it. I feel so confident in who I am and how I'm presenting myself now. It's like a complete game changer. It is 100% a complete game changer. And I love that sense of freedom and how it enriches me. It enriches me from the inside. Like whatever I put on the outside is seeping through and making me feel at one with myself. If that makes sense to any of you. I remember my sibling said to me that when I came out as a lesbian, that they thought it was so badass that I was sort of like not influenced by the patriarchy. I mean, like, yes, we all are influenced by the patriarchy because our society has been built on patriarchal values. But as a lesbian, my day-to-day is not influenced by the whims and the rules and restrictions of a man. And that's something super powerful. And I think that is what I want to end this on, is that feeling of power and confidence that I've gotten in myself coming out at this age. Because I feel like, yeah, it would have been great if I'd come out younger. But at the same time, I'm coming out now at a point where I know who I am. I know what I want. I know who I want to love. And I know where my priorities are. And I know who I am as a person. I think she's fucking great. So yeah, that's how coming out at 30 has affected me. I think it's positives just about all around, which is so wonderful. And I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to be in the situation that I'm in now with the people that I have now. Are any of you guys late bloomer lesbians? I think I asked this in my last video. Or just like late bloomer queer people? Tell me down below. Did any of these things happen to you? Do you guys resonate with any of these points? If you'd like to, I keep forgetting to say, but if you'd like to support my content, I do have a Ko-fi account. It's at The Opinionated Woman. It's down below if you want to support me, even if it's just a once-off. I would greatly appreciate it. So until my next gay as shit video, please hit a like if you liked it. Maybe even subscribe and tickle my bell for notifications. And I'll take you next time.